So I guess today we're talking about alcohol. You know what it does to you? It gets you drunk, depending on who you are, because sometimes people just socially drink it. They have just a few to get tipsy. They get a little buzzed. They feel good, but they don't overshoot the mark. But in my case, I always overshot the mark. I remember when I was a lot younger, 12 years old to be exact, I remember going to a wedding and everybody was drinking and I was totally bored. They're all drinking champagne, bubbly, and they started, drinking like these, they left these half-drank glasses of champagne all over the tables, right? So I'm walking around, I'm thinking, this is really boring. What are these people doing? How come everybody's mingling? Everybody's laughing, having a good old time. So I went around and started, seeing like they hadn't drank all their champagne. So I finished like some of their glasses for them. And before you knew it, I got on that dance floor and I was like, I drank so much that by the end of the night, I was like just staggering and drunk and just slosh, right? My parents took me and they stuck me in the car. They drove me home and I'm slurring my words in the backseat of the car. And they're like, look at Pej, he's on a good one. And they took me to my house. They stuck me in my bed. And I remember I woke up in the morning and I guess I had wet the bed and I had puked the bed. And I just thought to myself, wow, that was awesome. I want to do that all over again. So I just kept on chasing that feeling. So I would try to get alcohol in many different forms in many different places at different times. Sometimes it would be at a party, like a high school party. They would have a keg and everybody lined up and we'd all be standing there with our little red cups and we'd go up and say, fill me up, fill me up, fill me up. And I'd drink some of those. And beer really didn't do it for me for a long time. I wanted to just try some of the hard stuff. So I got into like heavy, hard drinking liquor, right? I'd go to nightclubs. We'd get to the club. We'd stand at the bar. We'd all stand there in a group. And people would buy a whole bunch of shots and they'd come out on a platter and everyone would take their shots. And then we continued to drink and we drink mixed drinks and we could dance better. We felt like, if you get enough in you, you feel like you're like taller, better looking, you can talk to women easier, you can talk to men easier depending on how you roll. But all I know is that I love the effect that was produced by alcohol. Considering that I would drink in other various places such as Mexico or nightclubs and put people at risk driving on the road and sometimes create some wreckage for myself and get into very violent fights with people or be with my friends and we would, the good old boys, we drink enough, then we go out and we want to pick fights with people. So alcohol had become a problem for us. And this is something that was quite, it was occurring quite often. I remember being in Mexico one time, getting so drunk and the federality somehow came into the picture and I ended up finding myself blacked out, woke up in a jail cell in Mexico with dirt floors, cockroaches, mice running around and just thinking, wow, this was because I drank. And when I got to pay my way out of there, I still chased that feeling. So alcohol was like really fun. Why did I like to drink so much? Because I wanted to get out of right here, right now. What is alcohol? What does it feel like to get drunk? I remember that when I would first start to drink and just get a few in me, I got a little tipsy and a little bit buzzed. And you just kind of started to like loosen up. Like you just take the edge off and you feel really good. And then you drink a few more and then the laughs become expanded to where everyone's just laughing, we're having a good old time. And then I drink a few more and then I become a little bit, sloppy, like loppy, like I can't really balance myself, like I'm starting to fall over, I'm staggering, I'm falling all over the place. And then I drink a little bit more and now I become belligerent to the point where I start saying things that I shouldn't have said. I start, kind of popping off at the mouth, saying things that are annoying, or I might actually, like somebody might say something to me and I might take it the wrong way, and so that I want to fight them. And the next thing you know, I drink enough to where not only do I feel really good, but now I've overshot the mark and then I pass out and I black out. This was a common occurrence with alcohol. If you black out on alcohol, perhaps you are not doing it socially anymore. It's becoming a bit of a problem. Car accidents happen. People get DUIs. I was crashing cars, parked cars, crashing into things that weren't even there sometimes. Regardless of the fact, I was drinking and driving and definitely put myself at risk and other people's lives at risk on the road. How did it feel the next day? Sometimes when I would be up all night drunk, drinking with my friends, in the morning, I'd wake up with a massive, excruciatingly painful headache. And I would think like, how do I get rid of this thing? And I just felt like my whole upper body, my whole respiratory system, everything just felt like I hate this. I hate the way I feel. I want to throw up, but I can't throw up. And sometimes you could, and sometimes you couldn't. How do you actually get rid of a hangover? I think maybe if I drink some more, or somebody said just eat some bread, or somebody actually gave us the brilliant idea of just having some birth control pills. Somebody said just use a couple of those. Did they work? I can't remember. I don't think so. All I know is I kept finding myself drinking some more and more and more and more. So the hangover was like the crappiest part of the whole thing. But when I actually got over it, I'd find myself drinking again. And that is my experience with alcohol.